Bernadette is one of the kindest, most sincere people I've had the pleasure of interviewing. Listen to her wisdom as she answers the questions. Are you ready, Bernadette?
Yes.
Okay, the first question is, what are your hopes and what are your dreams?
At this moment in my life, it's to have a more wholesome environment for humans and all the other living creatures to live in, and hopefully be able to sustain us as long as possible. I'm hoping that we can reverse some of the conditions that already have developed that are harming our ecosystems. So I am hoping that I'm doing enough on my part to educate and to prevent further damage. I would like to share any type of wisdom that I have that I know works for not just myself, but for others, and I have some experience with that.
I've got a little follow-up question then. Where do you think that comes from? That concern for the environment, the concern for other people's health and stuff. Where does that come from for you?
Well, from my own personal health condition, which was at least 48 years ago when I was almost on my deathbed, not taking care of my physical health. I learned about using herbs and altering my diet so that I could take care of my physical body. I was mostly focused on psychology, dramatics, education, academics, clubs, and all sorts of high school and university activities and extracurricular activities. So I was out there very busy, but I wasn't taking care of my physical body eventually, because that rules if we want to keep our bodies. I had to address the illness that I had developed.
And you mentioned the larger environmental things like that. Or do you see a connection between our physical well-being and the environment and stuff? Are you those types of connections, or does that kind of drive your vision or your wishes for the world?
Especially now, I think it's more urgent for us to take care of our physical bodies. We have to be strong. There's this saying that I've been hearing since I didn't really understand it, that health is our greatest wealth. And I think that it's why that's very important is, when somebody needs to help someone else and they can't because they're failing, then that has repercussions and affects many. So I feel that my biggest responsibility is to take care of my health now. If I want to help the environment, if I want to help anyone, I have to take care of myself. So I feel if I'm consistent with any healthy changes that I've made and disciplined, that I can do so.
Really cool. Have these always been your goals from a little girl? Do you remember some of them?
I have always loved insects and plants and respected insects especially. It would disturb me if anyone killed flies or stepped on ants or harmed anything that was living. I just somehow felt that they wanted to live also, and I thought that that was important for me to protect them. Even at the loss of my next door neighbor when we were young, and she was stepping on ants in front of my yard, and I sent her home because I thought, no, she shouldn't be killing my ants. And now more than ever, I see that they're all our ants, we're theirs. Everything truly is connected in the form that we all need each other.
And some people would say that's what science is starting to bear out too, that there's huge connection.
And it actually has opened up a scientific perspective for me, that biologically now I can see that more accurately than I did back then. Because I was very academic and I didn't focus on biology, I just was very compassionate and still am. I'm actually very empathic more than anything. And I truly recognize that everything wants to live, everything. Ants run away from us because they don't want us to harm them or kill them, everything runs away from humans because I think humans have become somewhat desensitized. And my diet changed, so I am now a raw vegan. It's been 47 years that I've been a vegan because I didn't like the scene that I happened upon when my rooster's neck was being broken so that we could eat him, and those things impressed me as a 10-year-old. And then when I became ill and began to study natural healing and biology and nutrition, and now I'm a nutritional consultant, naturopathic practitioner, and I've learned to help others to prevent illness and to get well.
Kind of your worlds kind of came together. Your past and your present have meshed up very well together.
Yes, and I think that compassion and the true sense of love, where we respect and admire the traits that everything has that's here right now in our ecosystem and our environment. I think that I'm becoming more aware of that as an adult than I was back then. I just had feelings back then. Now I know the science behind it, that if we destroy our pollinators, we're done.
So if you were going to talk to someone, let's say you went back to your 13-year-old self, and you could go back and talk to this little girl, or if you could talk to any adolescent now, or maybe somebody who's just starting out in life, newlyweds or someone, is there any advice that you'd like to give younger people?
Yes, it's critical to maintain a wholesome body. That's all we have that we can use while we're alive, is a wholesome body to activate any of our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, any goals that we have, unless it's just lying around and dying, if that's what our goal is. But if we're wanting to help others to have a better life, to have a life that's free from pain and agony and suffering, what I would say is take care of health. And health means to make whole. It means everything. It's not just a biological perspective. It's everything.
I know the Native Americans talk about the physical, the emotional, the intellectual, and the spiritual. Those four quadrants. I think that's what they are. I might have them wrong. You might know better than I do.
Well, to make something healthy is to make something whole, and that's all inclusive of what's around us and within us. And if it's thought or energy or biology, it is still whole, and it's still wholesome if we maintain it and make it operate the way it should. And that's why I have become involved in nutritional counseling. And I would suggest to anyone who wants to have a long run at whatever their dreams and aspirations are, is that they maintain the energy to complete as much as they can predict, to complete their activities so that they can accomplish whatever they want while they're still alive. Because once we're gone, not everybody else on the planet has the same skills that we've acquired from our personal experience.
I'm going to paraphrase then.
Okay.
I don't mean to cut in,
No.
but I'm going to paraphrase. What I'm hearing is, if you want to achieve your dreams, take care of your body so you can achieve your dreams or your wishes or aspirations.
It's the vehicle that we have.
It's the vehicle that we have.
It's the vehicle we have for our ideas, for our hopes, for whatever we want to share.
It's how we express those things.
And I think that if we do so lovingly and with respect, we have to start by respecting the beings that we are and the vehicles that we have.
Gotcha.
And so if we can take care of that and use prevention and self-discipline, and discipline in the sense of to disciple the self or to teach the self, and not just to gather information and let it lie around or say, oh yeah, I know that, but to actually practice it.
Thank you.
Is critical.
It's critical, yeah. Practice is the hard part. Sometimes we think by reading a book, now we are that book. We've got it all. then we've done it. And we've done it. We haven't.
And yeah, just because it's sitting on the shelf doesn't mean we've read it.
Yeah. Thank you.